welcome back to FRLT Season 3, race number 6 here in Austria. We are going to be getting going in the next about 2-3 minutes. We're waiting on another 2-3 drivers to join. So yeah, sorry, I was having to read something there. I am also, oh, God's sake, my mic just went dead. I do apologise for the absolute silence. My mic also went dead there. And I've been talking for about the last 2 minutes without even knowing. So, it is Austria tonight. Let me show you the calendar. We have gone through Australia, China, Singapore, and Las Vegas before we reached the winter break. Now, after last week's race, we had Monza, of course. This week, of course, is Austria. Then we'll be going to Britain, Kota. Then have a break week. Then we go to the final 2 races of Abu Dhabi and Belgium. Hello, Timon. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Also, having a look at the track map. We're going to be looking at this 4.318 kilometers, 2.683 miles, 10 turns, 3 DRS zones down the pit straight, second straight, and down the back straight. Down multiple straights, I must say. Quite a lot of DRS. Looking at the standings, as you can see, it's slightly different over here. Ultimately, it is AMS on top on 93 points, 10-point lead in the Constructors' Championship. AB, no points for the second time this season. Their worst finish of the season coming in Monza. LR pulled up really close now, 1 point behind AB, charging for the championship lead at this rate. Also, XR8 achieving their first win, also equaling the same amount of points, the same highest amount of points scored in a single race by a team. Of course, that team was ABE, who started out the season P1 and P3. Same as XR8 in Monza. Only twice 40 points have been achieved in a single race. But XR8, massive championship push for them. Peck, if you guys did not know, if you're not in the server, Peck sadly has had to leave the championship due to not appearing and not racing. No lineup submitted. Same as for this week. So EVR will be replacing them for the rest of the season, for the last 5 races of the season. But as you can see, HRT are in 6th, so don't mind Peck. They're out of the championship fight now. But HRT hoping to overtake them for 5th. TTRE also had a decent race, 10 points scored, up to 32. Gonna be interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting one. You can see some new teams like Nero having a decent finish. VEL as well, scoring points, 6 points last time round, pulls them into the top 10. We're actually just getting into qualifying now. As you can see, it is heavy rain out on track. Heavy rain. Yes, we only have 17 drivers tonight because we're currently missing TTRE. Both drivers from TTRE not here at the moment, nor are they expected to. One driver can't. The other one we don't know about, and one of the lovely HRT drivers also not here. So we're currently waiting on, we should have 3 more drivers, but we're a little bit short tonight, which of course is disappointing, but it is sometimes the way it goes. But it is raining. It is heavy rain in Austria for qualifying. This is going to be mental. We've got a Williams coming out on track VEL first. It is Simba who's out on track VEL Simba. He's coming out on the intermediate tyres. He's going risky on the inters. It looks like full wet conditions to me. We're going to have to see how these guys do. This is going to really mix up performance. As you see, Razagame and EVR Dams in for EVR tonight. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to see. Sorry, I have to quickly send a message to somebody. But yeah. Sorry, I have to keep clicking off of this. So yeah, at the moment, it's going to be an interesting one to see tonight, how this goes. It's an interesting track, of course. It's an interesting race, like always. But the first driver coming around to do a lap is VEL Simba. Let's see how he's going to perform out on track right now as he starts his lap, crossing the line. Let's see how the Williams will do. Into turn one he goes, braking a lot earlier than usual because of these quite wet conditions. You can see a Racing Bulls out on the right-hand side coming around, coming down the second straight now. Of course, no DRS enabled, so the cars again will be even slower down the straight. The lap will take even longer for him to do and for all the drivers to do. A little bit of a lock-up into turn 3. But pretty solid through there. I will say that. Pretty solid from Simba in turn 3. Heading round and down the hill as now we end off through here, through the midway section of the middle sector. Now heading up towards the final corner, the double left-hander. Now throwing it through. Ooh, a little bit wide there, not hitting the apex, maybe trying to keep it safe. A little bit of a wobble off the exit as well. Through the second left-hander into the final sector. Of course, Simba now goes a little bit of wheel spin. The car not exactly being happy with the Williams driver. And now, whoa, penultimate corner way too wide into the final corner. He does get the final corner right, but it was very wide. He's all the way onto the grass. And it's going to be a 1 minute 13.083 to start off qualifying, but it isn't the best of times set. I think we got Lenny. We got Len coming around, sorry. Len, I missed the V. Len comes up to the line. He's slower, though, by just over 1/10 of a second, so looking like a decent first lap set. We got Ergo, the only HRT driver out there. He's on the wet tyres, though, so he's gone for the different strategy there, as we could see. Coming up to the line, he goes P3, slowest of them all. Clearly, pace not showing. Maybe, I think the intermediates are faster, but Zalix just slightly faster there than Ergo. Not going much higher, though, so staying where he was. Still Simba, fastest of them all. I think we've got Milan, who's just started a lap. I'm trying to find somebody who has actually just done a lap, and that's Kakpa, who's just done a lap. He's gone to a 1 minute 13.9, so he's not finding the time on the wet tyres. He's still about almost a second behind. EVR Dams now goes slowest of all. He's in the 1 minute 15, so he's quite far off. Some struggles coming from drivers right now. I think that's sort of something we're seeing from everybody. Simba's slightly down. I think he's going to be pushing this lap instead. Bit of a slipstream, and that is Sassoy. He's giving the slipstream to us now. Sassoy goes to a 13.2. LR, do they have a qualifying ban? Don't think so. I'd have to double check this, but I don't think they do. I don't think they have a qualifying ban. No, they don't. They don't have a qualifying ban for this week. They don't have a qualifying ban at all, so at the moment they're kind of lucky with that. Looking around, I think we've got Milan coming up to the line next. He's on the wet tyres. Milan, now fastest of all, goes to a 1 minute 12.936. New fastest, JD Bergsma slots into 5th, also on the wet tyres. Some drivers not feeling the intermediates are right. I think we got Razagamer. No, that isn't actually Razagamer. It is Dams coming round. He was on a slow lap, though. I think we got one of the Alpines coming around. No, that's a Williams. My bad. That is actually a Williams. It's coming around, and it's Simba who's invalidated. He was improving massively, though. Would have brought him onto provisional pole, so he was a lot faster. I think Sasoi just crossed the line to start a lap. Now Len goes fastest of all. 1 minute 12.739. Solid lap there. You can see a Nero driver. That is Captain Wild that's just gone 7th. But everybody's changing positions. Ergo now goes into 4th. I think we've got Raza Gamer, who's not coming on a lap. He wouldn't have slotted in too well. He would have slotted in 11th. So not too great there for himself. We've got AMS Eric up to the line. Where does he go? He goes P2, ahead of Milan, into the 1 minute 12s. Only 3 drivers currently sitting in that area, of course. We got Kakpa, not able to improve, but he would have gotten up to P2 there. So a lot closer. It's drying. Okay, interesting to know. It is interesting to know that it is drying out. Dams now has just gone P8, slotting up the order slightly further. We got Highlander, who's gone a bit wide, a bit off on his outlap. Quite wide there, I must say. I think we've got Sasoi coming up to the line next. That would have been fastest session. A lot of drivers invalidating at the moment. Not a lot of drivers having luck on their laps. I think we've got somebody coming in. Captain Wild, he's coming round on another lap. Not sure whether it's a slow lap or what. I think it was a slow lap. Yeah, it was. Slow lap from him. Mork not going on a slow lap as well. Lots of drivers on slow laps for the moment. We've got Raza Gamer, who now goes fastest of all. 1 minute 12.416. Going to be the new time to beat. It's going to be dry by the end of the session. That is what Timon is saying, which is going to be interesting to see. AMS Eric is starting another lap. Some drivers clearly not happy. Milan now goes even faster. 1 minute 12.2 is now the time to beat. It's getting quicker and quicker by the second. And by the minute, it is getting a lot faster. The track really starting to ramp up now, which is surprising to see. Sasoi was up on his lap, but he is coming in. So he was up by nearly 3/10. So he could have found himself up into about P4, just ahead of his teammate Eric, but he's decided against it and he's just going to come into the pits, which isn't a terrible idea. Captain's coming round. He's up by about a second on his lap time. He's on the intermediate, though, so he's definitely going to be out there for quite a bit longer. This might actually help him as he now goes P3, just slotting behind Raza Gamer. So definitely a mixed sort of strategy we're seeing from the grid. I don't think anybody at the moment is particularly setting the sort of doing the same strategy. Everybody's just trying to find some sort of time. Zalix not improving. I think JD Bergsman is just starting lap on intermediates as well. Looking to, I think it's Kakpa who's coming around. Yeah, he's improving by about a second, so he could go quite high here. He goes to fastest of all. Found about 7/10 in the final sector. XR8 1-2 at the moment. Title charge fully on for them. But it is 1-2 and by quite a mile. 3/10 ahead for Kakpa and 2/10 ahead of everyone else. TIE, Mr. Bottler, TIE have a double qualifying ban for this week, by the way. So they're unable to set any laps in qualifying. We've got Highlighter not doing well. We've got Simba, who's just started a lap. We've got Len, who's just started a lap. I think we got an Alpine on a lap. That's Captain Wild, who's coming around. Still on those intermediates. They're going really long on the inters. We look to Ergo, who's also on an out lap. Zalix, who's next. He's just invalidated as well on the final corner. That would have been fastest of all, by the way. So, massive lap missed. Let's see JD Bergsma. JD Bergsma now goes fastest by an absolute mile. 1 minute 11.492. And to be honest, I'm not surprised that these lap times are dropping down so quickly because it is drying out heavily at the moment. It is massively drying out at the moment. But it's still looking pretty close though. You know, you've got quite a lot of drivers incredibly close to each other. Especially in the 1 minute 13s. 8th down to about 10th. They're all quite close. Including actually 7th. We'll include 7th in there. About 3/10 splitting 7th to 10th. So it's pretty close. But some drivers, of course, are struggling in the wet conditions quite a bit right now. Highlander, now up to 6th he goes. He's on the wet tyres though, so on those slower tyres now. Len goes fast as a 1 minute, 10.068. 1.4 seconds found over JD Bergsma. This is proving to be a strange session. Captain Wild goes P3, flying up the order. Razza Game has just started a lap. I think it's Zalix again invalidating. I think we've got Ergo up to the line next. I think he invalidated as well. Not too great from him. Waiting to see the next driver. For Red Bull coming round, that is Milan, who's coming round quite slowly. And then we've got Lewin Skiller for LR, who are also coming round. Title charge on for LR, AB, AMS, and of course XR8. XR8 coming out as most dominant so far. Soy's on a lap. He's improving quite a bit, but I think he is going to be the first driver, or he's going to be one of them. It's actually going to be Simba who's going to be the first one. He's going very slow. I think he's going to be, yeah, he's coming in this lap now. So he's either coming in this lap or he's waiting. Yeah, he's waiting to do another lap. So it is going to be Sosoy who's going to be the next driver to look for. AMS need a big week this week. They only scored 11 points, I think, last week. Let's see how they do. Up to the line. And it is fastest of all. Not a lot faster as we saw the last time. Only 0.3 quicker, but that's all he needs right now. We've got Razza Gamer coming up to the line next. He only goes P3, so it's not enough of an improvement for now. We now look to Ergo, who invalidated. Disappointment there for himself. We've now got JD Bergsma, who's also invalidated on his lap. And then we've got Morcolt not working out for him. He was up massively, though, so it would have sent him to about the top 5, top 6. We do have Milan coming around. He's invalidated, though, as well. We've got a couple of disconnections happening, which is surprising to see. I didn't think we'd have a couple of disconnections. Lewin Skiller, though, now goes fastest of all. LR took a pole, has, I think, taken 1 pole this season. And now we're seeing XRA and LR both charging. They both got poles this season. Let's see how they continue to do. We got Sosoy going slow. I think that's Eric coming round. Yes, it is Eric. Let's see what he's going to set. He's now going to go P2. Simba now goes fastest of all. 1 minute 9.221 is now the new time to beat. I've just got to quickly invite somebody back because they currently won't be able to get back in. So I do apologize. I just need to quickly invite this driver back so we don't have problems later on. And that driver's been invited back. I'm not sure. I think Highlander did disconnect, but sadly he didn't add me, so I'm not able to do anything there. As Milan goes P2, 0.05 behind, half a tenth, incredibly close. As now Kakpa up to P1, 1 minute 8.9. The times are flying down right now, and that is coming all the way down as we watch on. Simba is coming in this lap. I think we're going to be seeing dry tyres now. I think we're going to see them come out. But at the moment, what an incredibly mixed grid we have. We have XR8, P1 and P3. We have VEL, P2 and P15. TIE, the lowest, P16 and 17. We've then got HRT, P12. AB struggling again, P9 and P11 for the moment. Then we've got teams like Nero, P10 and P13. EVR, P8 and P14. LR, P4, P7. AMS, P5, P6. So it's quite interesting to see, sort of only one team is side-by-side. That's AMS. They've actually been side-by-side in qualifying the most out of any team this season, by the way. They've been incredibly close all along. Sosoy, by the way, already out on an outlap on Inters. Is he going to go into the pits? This is strange. This is really strange. Is he coming in or is he going for another lap? Because what I want to see is everybody is going for it. So it isn't just him. I was wondering whether others would go for it. But let's run on board with AMS Sosoy and the team that's leading the Constructors' Championship, but not by a lot, only by 10 points. Crossing the line, let's see how Sosoy can do. He's shown dominance before. He's the driver with the most wins out of anybody. And he's invalidated on the first corner but he has some extra fuel left over in case, so he is okay for now. But the next driver we'll be looking to, de-ice is now enabled. Oh my god, Morcolt, he's gone for the softs. Some have gone for the softs. Who hasn't gone for the softs? I think that's an LR driver. I think that's Lewin Skiller who hasn't gone for the softs. But this is now interesting because some drivers have gone softs, some have gone some have gone intermediates. That's what I meant to say. Some have gone intermediates. It was who are we watching? I don't even know who we're watching. Oh, Morco slowed down a lot. It's Lewin Skiller who we're watching. Sorry, apologies for that. I didn't even know who we were looking for because somebody just dropped off very quickly. But we're now going to see whether Lewin Skiller is going to be improving. He's the first driver out there on a lap. Can he improve? He's down by 7/10. He's not pushing. Morcolt retires. Not sure why. It's out on track as well. It looks like he might have just disconnected, which is, of course, disappointing. Coming up the hill now, we're watching Sasoi once again. Up by only 0.06 of a second for the moment. On intermediates, though. He's on those intermediates. 0.06 for now. That's all he's up by. It's not by enough. It's not by a lot. He's invalidated as well. So that's it. That's it for Sasoi's qualifying. He's done now. I'm trying to find somebody who is on a flying lap. I think that's going to be... if we have a look. I think that is actually going to be... I'm trying to find who it is. Simba? No, it's one of the Red Bulls. It is Simba, I think. Yeah, Simba is the closest. I'm trying to figure out who is closest and who isn't. But yeah, there's only one driver still on an outlap. And I think that's Kakpa, who's still on an outlap. But here comes Simba. He's going to be the first driver to cross for the final runs. Somebody's had a bit of a spin or something down the pit straight. And across the line, Simba goes fastest. 1 minute 5.144 is now the time to beat. Sasoi crossed the line. Ergo didn't make it. Let's see what Razagamer can do. Is he improving by enough? Let's see when he crosses the line. No, he's not. It's only P2. That's all he's going to get from it now. Lewin Skiller spins. I think we've got Len coming up to the line. He's on the intermediates, though, so he's on the slower compounder tyre. So it's not going to work out for him. Coming up to the line, let's see what he's going to do. It's going to be P3. Not a huge amount for him. Then we've got Captain Wild, who's gone P4. I think we just saw Zalix go all right. Then we've got AMS Eric. He's actually not... He's invalidated his lap. We've got JD Bergsman up to the line next. Let's see where he goes. He goes P2. Oh my god. 7 thousandths too slow. Now Milan goes P3. We got then Dams, who's gone P5. I think we just saw Highlader as well. I think... And now Kakpa, fastest of all. 1 minute 4.6. And that is an XR8 pole. Back-to-back pole positions this season. Holy, I think it's the first time we've had a team do back-to-back poles. And XR8 have done it, P1 and P4. But what an interesting end. VEL on the front row. ABE coming back a bit, but only P3 and P12. AMS Horror of P10 and P11. Holy, we have a mixed grid tonight. Oh, what an end to qualifying that was. Whew. That was incredibly close. I'm going to have to invite Ergo in a minute. I'm going to have to invite Ergo back. But this is the grid. It is Kakpa on pole, followed by Simba, JD Bergsman, Milan, Razagamer, EVR Dams, Len, Captain Wild, Lewin Skiller, AMS Eric, AMS Asoy, Highlader, Ergo, Morcolt, Zalix, TIE, Mr. Butler, and Boosted RB. No, I can't invite Morcolt, Ducky, if you're wondering. I can't, because he hasn't added me. Or I can't see him on my list. So I can't find Morcolt on my list. I will try to invite him now. I will look to quickly invite him now to see whether this, whether he will or not, whether I can find him on my list or not. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. Yeah, he's not on my list. He's not on my list, so I can't invite him. I can't invite more Colts. I have sent now an invite to got 3 minutes to wait until we get ready and we go for the race. It's a decently long race as well. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I think, here for the race because it's dry, very different. I think we saw a complete mix at the end of qualifying. We saw the faster drivers, of course, on the softs, then we saw intermediates. We still saw some drivers at the end of qualifying who had set their laps on wet tyres. So, you know, some drivers invalidating, lots of risk and reward being played out. But in the end, it's very much turned to being sort of almost sort of AMS's way to some degree. It's almost sort of gone that way. It's very much not gone their way, but gone against them. Poor final laps, you know, invalidating has really hurt them. On top of, we've also got to take into account, this has really helped ABE in their title charge. They'll currently overtake AMS, but so will XR8 will get past, so will LR. So we could be seeing a lot of changes in the championship. And just to remind you, no team who led out of race one has led the championship after it. ABE have. And no team that has won 2 or more races during the season has not led the championship. And so, of course, ABE haven't, so there's a bit of a change. So, of course, we've had a lot of sort of records and sort of some of the things we usually have broken already this season, you know, a lot of the usual things we see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Taking one swig of my drink before we get underway for the race. We'll be watching them get started very soon. I think it'll be in the next about minute's time. So let's see how these guys will do as soon as we head onto the track and get racing finally in this race. I think it should be getting going in the next minute or so. And now here we go. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Austria. It is quick lights and away. And it is Simba who takes the lead incredibly quickly straight away into turn 1. VEL lead for the first time this season. They've gotten away incredibly well. Same with EVR. They've jumped up the order quite a bit, especially with Raza, who's now attacking for P4. And he's gotten that P4 slot. Into the hairpin we go for the first time. Whoa! 4 wide. I don't know where that is. 4 wide. Somebody's round. AMS Eric and Sasoi, both at the bottom of the grid. Look at this. What is going on? Everybody battling each other. Absolute carnage in this midfield. Highlander is lagging all over the place. I have absolutely no clue what is happening there. But people are lagging everywhere. And there is going a little bit mental. And this is all going crazy. But it's a good start from Simba. That start was exactly what he needed. Very much. I think this is the one good thing at this point, is that the start was needed there from him. But yeah, I have to sadly invite Mr. Bottler very quickly, or we're gonna find him being a bit grumpy. I can't find him. Can't find him on the list now. But now, Kakpa now takes the lead. And that is a change for the lead and XR8 return. And now coming round. This is important for XR8 that in their championship charge. It's incredibly important in their championship charge, and I don't know why telemetry's come on. I do apologise. I don't mean to have telemetry on. And now Simba retakes the lead of the race into turn 3. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this. I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit of this. Yeah, TIE connection problems. There was a lot of connection problems off the start there. Bit of nuts things going on, but top 6 have now split away, all within a second of each other now. We have VEL, XR8, LR, EVR, and ABE all in this fight. And then we've got a sort of secondary group here with LR, EVR, TIE, HRT, and AMS going all the way down to 15th. And then we've got Highlander and, of course, TIE, Mr. Bottler in P17, who did disconnect. Sadly, he has disconnected. I don't know. I've got to again re-invite him. Let's see. Has this gone through? Nothing's going through. This might be a bit of a pain today. I do apologise. This is an absolute pain for me as well. No. And now Dams, by the way, getting past Lewin Skiller for P7. He's up into 7th, and EVR pushing for a good debut. And now Kakpa going round. It is again XR8 who lead. We saw it a lot in Monza. We're seeing a lot of it again here in Austria. I did expect to see this. To be honest, I did expect for us to see a championship sort of battle going on. I didn't think we'd see this much of a championship battle, this much of a change in a championship, should I say. But yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, so at the moment we've got some connection problems. Highlander now retires out on track, which one isn't allowed, but now retires out on track. I'm just going to quickly double check while we wait here if I got anything. No. Oh, this poor game. I feel bad now for Mr. Bottler because he's unable to rejoin because this game isn't working. But now we can see there's a full-on top 6 are fully pulled away from the rest. This is an interesting battle, though. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen sort of, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. 5 different teams in the battle in the top 6. And now Kakpa once again returns to the lead of the race. Once again returning. Now we've got Len as well trying to make a move on Milan. Unable to get this move side by side towards turn 4. They go. Who's going to come out on top? It's Milan on the inside. Down the inside he goes. He's holding onto his line. And that is P4 holding onto it for now. Dams as well having a bit of a battle. Soy trying to get past. You can see lots of changes. And it is Dams who actually loses out there. And Dams losing out. And it's the Soy up to 8th. And AMS back up into the top 10. But only scoring 5 points at the moment. So AMS really trying to charge back through. This is going a little bit crazy. And we've got a little bit of... getting a little bit racy further back. As Boosted RB now up into P12. He's trying to battle inside the top 10 while his teammate struggles to get back into the lobby. And now AMS Eric up into P9. Championship charge helping a little bit more. Somebody's dropped down the order. It's more Colt who's actually dropped down the order. He's down to 14th. The gap building slightly. And you can just see how the top 6 are just kind of on their own. They're very much they're driving very nicely. Razza Game is getting a little bit left behind here. He's struggling to keep up a little bit more than the others. But you can see Lewin Skiller under attack now from both AMS drivers. But this is going to be an interesting moment here, as whether, for instance, we're going to see how long can Lewin Skiller hold up, but also will AMS ultimately catch up to the rest, because they're only scoring 6 points. Even if they move up again, they'll only be scoring 10 points at the end of the day, only moving up to 103 points in their championship battle. It's a good charge back, but it is a struggle for them to then close down this about 3.1 second gap, as now Kappa once again returns to the lead of the race. Are we going to see a move? Yes, we are. We're seeing Milan down the inside of JD Bergsma, trying to make sure that ABE can't make any moves further up the field, and XR8 trying to get closer to that championship battle. Now Simba's under attack from JD Bergsma into turn number 4. Side by side, they're still going side by side, but you can see Simba has this inside line to his curve, but JD Bergsma makes a position, and up to P2 he goes, now chasing the lead of the race. ABE haven't led a race for a little while. They're now hoping to lead it here tonight. They haven't led since round 3 of the season, by the way. Yes, since round 3 they've had to wait. They've not led a single lap in 2 races. They're hoping to end that streak now of not leading a single lap. Let's see whether they can do that here and now at Austria. It looks like they will be able to, and especially it looks like JD Bergsma will. But as we look at that, let's have a look at the tyres. It's a bit of a mix, mostly hard tyres, but we've got Simba and Razza Gamer inside the top 6 on the mediums. So some different strategies, but most drivers on the hard tyres. And now here comes JD Bergsma for ABE around the outside. He's trying to make the move, but Kakpa is holding on to position. Whoa! Kakpa's in the wall! He's in the wall! He's round! And that is his race-winning chance gone. And that is disappointment. Oh my god. XR8's championship charge slowing down a little bit more here in Austria. Front wing damage to Kakpa's car. And the pressure getting to him a little bit too much. Bit too much pressure. Pressure's getting a bit too much for XR8 as now he comes into the pit lane. Will this be the end of the day for the XR8 driver? Will we see our second retirement of the night in just 10 laps? I don't think we will. But we're slowly closing up to that first third of the race. Here comes Milan. Now Milan takes the lead of the race. So XR8 once again returning. Look at Len. Len now down the inside. The top 6 now reduced down to the top 5 in this race. Very much reducing over time. We're seeing less and less drivers. But this is an absolute battle for everything going on. But the driver that's interesting me at the moment is actually JD Bergsma himself, because he's in this sort of strange battle going on, as we've actually got a battle over P10 going on here between Ergo. Whoa! Dams is off! Dams is off! And he's in the wall. Dams now reversing slowly out onto the track. I think that's going to be the end of the day for one side of EVR. Disappointment Racing getting very racy here, but it's going to be some more it's going to be disappointment for the debutees. But still, at least one of their drivers is fighting for 10 points and a good championship charge for the moment, and a good start to their campaign with just 5 races to go. And JD Bosma, by the way, fighting to get into the lead of this race. So he's now going to be battling. You can see you've also got Len in the background trying to also make a move. Len's also going to get past both. Is he going to make a double overtake? Yes, he is. As EVR Dams sadly retires from the session, becoming our second retirement. But as you can see, Len now takes the lead of the race. And for the first time this race and this season, LR have taken the lead of a race at all, which is even more interesting to see. But still, this is some interesting racing. Still, we can see the top 5 still all battling exactly the same as they were. Yeah, it's very much sort of how we're seeing the battling at the moment. That's interesting to see, because Len, getting that opportunity into the lead, I did not think Len would get the run out of turn 3. We haven't seen that from Len or any driver really getting a good run. But now we have. Talking about that, we've also seen AMS and this squad, this sort of small squad of drivers, catching up. 4 drivers all catching up to the leaders. Oh, look at this. We've had some racing in front. Lewin Skiller now within a second of Simba and Raza Gamer, by the way. So this is again going to change it, because that means they're going to be sort of getting closer to that 1 second barrier of the leaders. They are closing in. But it's interesting to see that AMS is slowly moving up the order. Only slowly, though. They're not gaining a huge amount. 7th and 8th at the moment. Only 10 points on the board for them. They at the moment will only sit 3rd in the championship. They'll drop down 2 places in a single race, and that's not what you want at this point. As I could think we're seeing Simba, VEL Simba into the pit lane. He goes on the medium tires, going for the faster first stint. Has it been a faster first stint? I think some would argue, but it's still sort of what they went for, and you've got to go with it. It's one of those things, in my opinion, you sort of just got to go for it. Soy now, by the way, getting past Raza Gamer for P5, same as Lewin Skiller. More and more drivers getting past and getting by 4 positions. Always interesting to see. But yeah, the race is going the way it is at the moment. But it is Milan who leads, and once again, XR8 going over this battle. It should be in the Nation Plays Discord invite. It should be in the it should be down below. And yes, I have gotten the invite. I am currently trying to find you on here, because the game is wanting to sod around a bit. The Discord invite, yes, it should be down below. You should be able to get it. It should be working. If it's not working, I'll be very surprised by that. But you can see AMS Soy now pulls up into P4. AMS hoping to change their championship fight once again and continue to lead the championship. It's not working. Okay, that's odd. I updated it this week as well. I updated it. I'll quickly change that. Just give me 2 seconds to quickly change that. I do apologise that my dumbass is just very thick and it doesn't seem to really be working. I'll quickly my apologies for having a pause game. Yeah, I will quickly update that now. I do apologise to everybody. I just have to quickly update it. Yeah, this should have been updated. Yeah, it's updated now. It's updated now. By the way, it's now been updated. So yes, I do apologise. I don't know what is going on with the invites for Discord. I've had this for the last couple of races. Yeah, it's all fixed now. The link should be fixed. Mr. Bottler, can I just say I don't think Nation is talking to you, but I've sent you an invite. I sent the invite through. I'll send it again, purely to be nice. But it's very far into the race now. Where were you? Where were you? You were on here a minute ago. Oh, don't say you're in this list. Swear to God, if you're in this list, I hate you. You had to be in that list. But now Milan takes the lead of the race once again. Yeah. So you can see Milan goes round. It's only top 3 now. It's reduced down. It's reducing down. Boosted RB though. What race is TIE having at the moment? They are actually putting on an incredible race, pushing for, you know, P4 at the moment. That would be, even after pit stops, this would be massive points. They've only scored 3 points in 5 races. They need a massive week this week. Absolutely massive points to sort of keep them going almost in power. So this would be interesting to see if they get big points now. If they get big points now. Yeah, we see Len now returns to the lead. The grid's quite spaced out purely because of pit stops. That's pretty much the only reason. But now we've got Milan having a bit of a battle with JD Bergsma. DRS enabled. I think Milan is going to stay in front for now, very much. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the only reason why the grid's quite spaced out. We're still waiting for pit stops to be done. More Colts in the pits. I think we'll be seeing the hard tyre runners come in at probably about lap 20 to 25. The tyres will be going off quite a bit now. They'll be quite a bit slow, but there will be less fuel, which means the pace sort of goes up, sort of comes down slightly. They get a little bit faster. Lap times will get slightly quicker as they go along. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Now we can see Simba rolling around in P8. He's kind of been rolling around in P8 for quite a while, kind of on his own. He's miles ahead of Raz the Gamer as well. Oh my God, Mr. Bottler, you are having an awful night. I will say that, my friend. You're having an absolute awful night. Milan now retakes the lead. We had a bit of a battle there. A couple of moments of action. JD Bergsma struggling to get into this sort of fight for the lead, really. He's kind of sitting here in P3. He's kind of sat here in P3 for quite a while now. He hasn't really been able to make any improvement in position. He's kind of just sat there lap on lap. I think AB have led 1 or 2 laps now this entire race. You know, they've led sort of 1 or 2 laps this entire race. So it hasn't been going too well for them, you know, sort of now in 18 laps. But XRA on the push for championship, another massive 25 points will bring them to probably, you know, they're probably going to stay 4th in the constructors, but they're going to pull themselves a lot closer because they're going to currently score 26 or 27 points with fastest lap. So I think it'll be 27 points at the moment. So they're on their way for sort of, you know, 27 points in the championship. As now, once again, a change. And now JD Bergsma now going for the move on Milan. He's now up to P2, and that's position gained. I was just saying about it. And he makes the move when needed. Maybe he's listening. Maybe he is listening to me on what he needs to do. Looking at the positions gained, boosted RB up 11. Sassoy up 7. Eric up 5. Also Len up 6 as well. We've got to give a big shout out to Len. But again, changes in pit stops. But only 1 driver on the mediums, and that's Kakpo at the moment on 9 lap old mediums. He's not going to be able to go to the end of the race on those. Penalties, 6 seconds to Kakpo, 3 to Zalix, Morcolt, and Captain Wild. One team I don't really talk about a lot in this championship is Nero. Off the pace at the moment is sort of something I'd call them off the pace and struggling. 13th or 14th. They haven't really been there in lap time nor in pace. They're not setting awful lap times though, but they're quite far off of the fastest. So they did quite well in qualifying, but they've kind of been unlucky in the race. So some struggles here and there. We can see now Ergo going on Zalix for P11. HRT trying to finally reel in some points. Only 6 points scored last race. Which of course was, I think, a frustrating one for them. But yeah, it seems to be all going all right, to be honest. Yeah, I know, Duck. I know it's an awful time to be hosting a race. I know, but we have a race to do, and we can't put it off, to be honest. You know, we've got races to do. It's the way it goes. To be honest, it is the way it goes. But yeah. Hope you're enjoying the race though. Please think about subscribing, leaving a like. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the league, if you want to maybe get joined in, maybe get some of the behind the scenes action, make sure to join our Discord server. The link below is now finally working, and it should be working now for the next couple of weeks. So I'll definitely make sure it works every week now. But yeah, make sure to go and check that one out. Also, make sure to go and follow us on Twitter as well. The link to that is also down below. Make sure to go and follow us on there. But the group has now grown, by the way. Sasoi has caught up to this, Eric's caught up to this, Boost has caught up to this, and Lou and Skiller as well, just hanging on to the back of this group, by the way. So we've now got seven drivers all on the hard tyres now, are all in this battle, by the way. So that it's no longer just 3. It's now increased to 7, the biggest it's been all race, I think. It's the biggest it's been. But we're seeing it now. Milan up the inside of JD Bergsma, and up into P2 he goes. You can see Sasoi's trying to make the move. The important thing here for Sasoi is to get in front of ABE. At the moment, they're scoring 22 points. ABE is scoring just 15. So for the moment, this is actually a really good sort of point. They're going to gain another 7 points over AMS, increase their gap over ABE, increase their gap to 17 points over them, while AMS pull into the lead at slightly more. It also almost pretty much confirms the continuation of the lead in the Constructors. But this does mean a change, by the way. Whoa! Have we got double stacking? AMS almost double stacking their drivers there for a minute, by the way. As now Soy comes in, he's trying to undercut. But Eric was coming in. He had to then decide not to come in because Sasoi decided to come in so late. That is massive there. Maybe miscommunication there from teammates. JD Bergsman now fights back up into the lead of the race once again. Also, there's been a slight change to our calendar and our schedule. The break week that was set to be, I believe, for February here in Tier 1 and also for 4s is now cancelled. We'll just be doing every week races now. This is purely to make sure that we do have a decently spaced out and a decently timed Season 4, by the way. So that is the only reason, is so we can have a decent Season 4. Yo, bro, that's an interesting thing. I hope you are enjoying this, though. If you're not enjoying this, I know who you are. I will find you. No, I'm kidding. You better be enjoying this though. But yeah. So this is one of the things. Milan stays out for longer, so he's gone for a separate strategy. Let's see where JD Bergsman is going to come out in all of this, because I want to see where he comes out in relation to others. Because here comes Simba on the hard tires. He's really far ahead. His tires are a lot older, about 10 laps old, I think, but he's really far in front. And look at this, actually. Almost everybody else has also been able to jump them. Raza Gamer, boosted RB, retires. He's crashed. It's a virtual safety car. TIE. Oh, my God. TIE's luck this season is falling away. Ergo also retires. 2 more retirements. Oh. This is interesting to see. But this is actually perfect for Milan, because he's going to be able to roll round into the pit lane. Now, the racing has just gotten going again, so I don't think he's going to gain everything from it. But we'll have to see when he comes in. But 2 more retirements, down to 13 drivers this race. Holy. Of course, we were missing 2 drivers to start the race as well. We were missing TTRE altogether. And we were also missing 1 HRT driver. But Simba now returns to the lead. He's leading by an absolute mile. He's on old tyres, though. So he's going to be hoping he can go another 11 laps of leading this race without a problem. But he's currently leading by about 3.6 seconds. So he's going to be hoping to try to keep it sort of roughly around that point. But I think he knows it's going to come down quite sharply as the race goes on. Hello, Ethan Devaney. I hope you're having a great evening. Yeah, I agree. If I was an owner of one of these teams, so would I, in a race-winning or podium-contending position. But look at this. He's already lost. Simba already losing almost a second this lap just because his tyres are that old versus the fresh tyres. Of course, as the fresh tyres get used up, they will slow down quite dramatically. And probably about 3-4 laps time, we're going to see probably the hards drop off by about 2-3 tenths a lap. So we will see the hards drop off in a bit. But, you know, we're going to have to see as the race goes on because he's lost a lot of time. He's lost about a second now in a single lap, over a second in a single lap. So he's not helping himself a huge amount. Len is on the mediums, by the way. These guys are on medium tyres. But we know the mediums do drop off after about 7 or 8 laps. But they are very quick. As now you can see Sasoi, by the way, up into P2. Are AMS on to take on a victory in a race that they qualified P10 and P11 in? Are they set to take a possible win and the comeback of the century? This would be crazy if this was the way that they would come back and get their 3rd win of the season. Last season, of course, they achieved 6 victories, equaling the most wins in a single season. This season, they would have, essentially, if they win this race, they would have won 50% of the season. Last season, by the way, they won at the first 6. I think they won 4 of the first 6. So their dominance, or their total points, lower, but their wins pretty close. But yeah, they're closing in by over a second a lap now. So Simba really under attack. AMS Eric, though, gets a penalty. At the moment, that's going to drop him back to about 7th place, by the way. So he's going to be dropping back massively at the end of this. So he could drop back to possibly 7th, maybe even 8th. Very soon, we could be seeing him drop back to 8th. So disappointment there. AMS Eric will at least drop down to 6th. So 2 more points lost for AMS. But a win on the hunt, though. But Sasoi he's still got Len right behind him. He's got JD Bergsman in the battle. And Luon Skiller all fighting for this. So it is currently VL versus AMS versus LR versus ABE. So this is a sort of massive fight. VL, not in the championship fight, of course. They still want big points, at least if they could finish, sort of P6. Another 8 points on top of the 6 they scored, bring themselves into a real good position. But yeah, I don't think VL were expecting today to be like this. But they've gotten it. And it's another lap led, by the way, by VL. VL have now led more laps than ABE have in the last 3 races, which is just incredibly surprising to me. You can see Simba, he's absolutely fighting. He wants to stay in the lead so much longer than he can at the moment. He's gone a bit wide there. You could just see how scruffy the car is. But here comes Sasoi. Are we going to see a 3-wide moment? Whoa, squeezing from Simba. Sasoi takes the lead. But he's got battle, though. Len around the outside. What a move from Len. This is a massive move as well for the championship because it now means LR are in a position to take far more points in a single race. They're not just going to take 2 more points from P5 at the moment. But look at this. Simba's dropping through the order. He's causing chaos in all of this. Look at this. JD Bergsman trying to go down the inside. Oh, he's onto the gravel. And that is Simba off the track. But that is JD Bergsman down to 4th now. Is he going to go down to 5th? Yes, he is. JD Bergsma losing out, and ABE losing out even more, down to 5th place. Oh my god. This race is going mental. It is really going mental. The fight for the win, it's still a 5-way fight for the win, and plus with Milan, by the way, sitting in 7th. XR8 not coming away well this week, only on for 6 points, only going to go up to 74 points in their championship charge. A much slower sort of moment for them. You could see he's trying to catch Simba to at least claim some points at the end of the day. But Len, leading this race, AMS 2nd and 3rd, they're going to gain huge amounts of points this week. 33 points on the table for AMS, massive charge in the championship to over 126 points. But LR also sitting there as well. But remember, LR will actually gain more because they'll gain 25 and then 15 as it currently stands. So, going up to 40 points scored, equaling the highest. 3 times now, 40 points would have been scored. But if LR can also set the fastest lap, it's going to be interesting to see if Len can. Len has already set the fastest lap, by the way, so he will gain 41 points, and LR will gain the most points in a single race out of any team. But Eric's really put himself in a bad place now because he's now going to drop down to P7 as it stands. He's going to drop really low down in this race, which is really the worst thing for Eric because he's going to drop down to... Whoa, we got a massive moment. Oh my god! 3 wide! JD Bergsma running people off of the track. Holy, what has happened there? But look at this. We've got a battle. Simba's coming back into this, by the way. Simba? Is he going to go around the outside? No, he's not. He doesn't have the tyres. But LR, that is surprising to see from LR. They're closing in on the championship hopes. Disappearing now. They will overtake ABE as it stands. They will overtake ABE for 2nd in the Constructors. But first, might have to wait a little bit longer. But look at this. JD Bergsma, very aggressive. But who knows, JD Bergsma might get a penalty as well. He's running the risk of that, of course. But LR will, of course, finish 2nd and I think 6th as it stands. Here comes Len. Oh, Len's not going to be very happy with JD Bergsma. Possibly feeling like it was all because of him. Simba now gets a 3-second time penalty. Lewin Skiller, by the way, up into P2 now. He's charging back at Sasoi. He wants to get this race lead. He wants to get a victory for LR, become the 4th team this season to win. We saw 3 teams win in the first 6 races of last season. That'll make it a 4th team this season. But this is interesting to see the last few moments. You can see Milan now as well. He's caught up to this, by the way. Milan into P6. He's now in this battle. So AMS Eric will now drop back to P6 now. So that's a massive loss. 7 points will be lost for AMS in a single race just because of 1 penalty. That's a massive loss for AMS this week. That's really going to hurt AMS. Losing those 7 points means their dominance sort of comes to an end. And it also means that LR come away with the highest amount of points out of anybody. But now look at this. Lewin Skiller back into the battle. He's charging for the race win. Who's going to win now? AMS. Will it be Sasoi? Will it be Lewin Skiller? JD Bergsma or Milan? This is all a crazy battle going on. AMS Eric ruled out of winning. But who is it going to be? AMS, LR, ABE. And now look at this. Len diving down the inside. Lewin Skiller gets a 3-second time penalty. It's all falling away for LR, risking it too much. That's a penalty. But now I think we might see some teamwork. Here comes Milan down the inside, trying to make the move on Len. Is this move going to work? Milan and Len side by side. They battle slightly a bit throughout this race. Still side by side through this corner. Whoa! Leaving no space. Milan gets pushed off, and all of that pushing seems to have come for nothing in the end. JD Bergsma in P4 now. Holy, what is going on? And Len now needs to get back into this because the moment it will be ABE, it will be AMS winning, ABE 2nd, and LR in all of this. They'll be finishing 3rd. Who are we going to see? Who's going to top all this? Who's going to come out on top? Here comes Sasoi. He's making the move, pushing Eric all the way. Look at this. Is Eric going to try and slow down the rest of them? That would be an interesting... that would be interesting teamwork to see at the end of the day, is whether he would do that or not. But it looks like Eric is actually pushing Sasoi quite a bit as well. Sasoi making a couple of mistakes, but this has allowed Len. If Len or JD Bergsma can get back up into, get past their teammates or opponents, this could be a race still for the win. There's only a few laps remaining. We're about to go into lap 34 and ultimately claiming the final 3 laps of the race. And this is where all the action is going to come. People are saving up their ERS for the attack. See, crossing the line for lap 34. 3 laps remain. It is AMS versus LR versus ABE versus ultimately XRA. And now Lewin Skiller, by the way, he actually does gain the place because it's a mistake from AMS Eric. And moving, it's going to be 3 wide into the hairpin, hoping to make some problems for themselves. Whoa, we've got a couple of problems. Milan gets a 3-second time penalty now, so that's another position higher that AMS Eric will finish. Look at this, into the next corner, into turn 4, down the inside. Whoa! Some contact. Oh my god, AMS Eric gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Lewin Skiller pushing the man of Sasoi all the way. We saw Len get a little bit agitated. He almost was completely drifting through turn 4. This battle is all the way on now. It's turned to the maximum. Sasoi leads. He hasn't got a penalty, but the only hope now is JD Bergsma and Len in this battle for the win. It's all going to come down to this. Coming through the final corner now, onto lap 35. Still 2 more laps to go. Everything has now turned up to the maximum, and the race is going to be very harsh from now on. And it's Sasoi who's got everything to lose. If he makes a single mistake on this lap or on the next lap, we could be seeing AMS not win. We saw it at the start of the race. Will Sasoi lead out of turn 3? No, we won't. Will we? JD Bergsma's trying to make a move. Eric having a bit of a battle with JD Bergsma. JD Bergsma trying to go round the outside. He's trying to make that move for the podium. He is going to make that move for the podium. And up into P3 he goes. Look at this. Len as well trying to make the move. Eric has to back out ultimately, but this has allowed JD Bergsma back up into the race win potential spot of P3. He's chasing after the front 2. Lewin Skiller's hope will be to get his penalty removed, of course. He'll be hoping that all the way. But there might also be a penalty coming the way of JD Bergsma as well. So who knows what we're going to see in the steward's room. Coming around into the final corner, it will be AMS Sasoi who leads onto the final lap. We've seen this many times before, but who is going to be crowned winner in Austria? Coming around, you can see still a bit of a battle going on. A couple of people jolting around. Here comes Lewin Skiller. He's immediately going to the right-hand side. He's going to choose the right. He's gone for it. Down the inside. Look at this, some battling going on further back. Ultimately, JD Bergsma dragged wide. You can see, we know Sasoi doesn't have a penalty. Post-race penalties might come in. But look at this, JD Bergsma as well, trying to go round all this battling. It is Lewin Skiller, who at the moment looks like he will cross the line in first, but he won't win. He'll currently finish, I think, 5th. Around 5th place. Sasoi trying to go round the outside. This hasn't worked before. Will it work now? Will it? No, it won't! No, it won't! Sasoi gets dragged off to the side. Sasoi's now under attack. Down the inside goes JD Bergsma. Into the penultimate corner. Into the final corner now. JD Bergsma leads. It will be Lewin Skiller who crosses the line first. But it's ABE who win in Austria in FRLT Tier 1. Round number 6. And that is a victory for ABE. They've waited 3 races to finally be able, for me to finally be able to say that. But holy, it's just taken my words away. Next level racing, but it's 3rd and 4th for LR, which do mean they come out with 27 points. Not the highest. AMS will come away with the highest amount of points. Holy, what an end to the race. But it was close. Actually, they won't. It will be LR, 2 points more, and officially that equals them out with ABE. But what an end. What an end to an interesting day. Oof, holy, that was one hell of an end. I have no words for that. My brain is overloaded by that end to the race. But, oh my god, 6-way fight for the win. Don't think we've had that this season, to be honest. But it's ABE finally on top. They get that third win of the season, leading now the wins out of any team. It's JD Bergsma who wins, followed by then AMS Soy, who I do think will be seeing a couple of reports coming from teams like AMS and ABE. Then it's Len in third, Lewinskala in fourth, Milan in fifth, Simba sixth, AMS Eric in seventh, Raza Gamer in eighth, Captain Wild ninth, so 2 more points for Nero, Zalix in 10th, then More Colt in 11th, Capper in 12th, and Mr. Bottler in 13th. And then here are the retirements: Ergo, Boosted RB, and EVR Dams, followed by Highlader. And those are all of our retirements here tonight. Whew, what a race. I am lost for words for the end of that race. That was something else. What an absolute amazing end to a race, to be honest. I almost lost my voice as well, and I'm absolutely losing my brain as well. My brain stopped working, but the end to that race was absolutely incredible. Some absolute crazy fighting, but I have to say, pretty impressive from quite a few drivers. Impressive from LR to take the most points this week, and EVR points on debut as well. Interesting to see. Yeah, after that is that. So let's now have a quick look at the calendar based off of this. Australia, we've now completed Australia, China, Singapore, and Las Vegas. We then did our winter break, and now we've completed Monza and Austria. Next week, we go to Great Britain, and then we'll be going to COTA on the 29th. By the way, there is no break week. I will edit this before next week, but there is no break week, so all the races are 1 week earlier. So on the 5th, we'll be having Abu Dhabi, and on the 12th, we'll be having Belgium. So the season does end 1 week earlier. Ultimately, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, click on that notification bell to know about all of our content from streams, videos, and shorts that we release. Also, make sure to come and join our Discord server down below. The link is down below, and it is working now, and it will work for the future. Also, make sure to check out our affiliates, SRC, as you can see in the top left corner. They can sell you setups, strategies, everything and anything. Make sure to go and check them out. Very friendly, very helpful. Ultimately, thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.